Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host. Today I have a lady that we go way back to, and I guess you guys probably say, I go way back with a lot of people that I have on as my guests, but this young lady that I do go way back from days going back to my first days here at City Hall. Mm-hmm. She was downstairs in the area that I'm in now. I have on today, ladies and gentlemen, as my guest, Jan Plagens, who is the Office Manager, Program Director for Literacy Volunteers of Troup County. Jan, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Alton. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
And giving me the opportunity to tell people what we do at Literacy Volunteers.
Well, great. Well, Jan, before we do that, because I know a lot of people may be asking, what is Literacy Volunteers? But before we do that, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Be glad to. Like you said, we kind of go way back. I used to work for a congressman down in City Hall. And
That's right.
I left there for a while and went to the Red Cross. And I've been at the Red Cross off and on for a number of years. And then I retired, and then I decided, I don't like sitting at home. I need to be active. So I found this worthy organization, and I have jumped in and really enjoyed it. Literacy Volunteers of Troup County is a very, very good organization. We're a United Way partner, and we do a lot in the community, and this opportunity gives me a chance to tell people what we do so they'll know how to take advantage of us.
Very good. Now, Jen, I want to take pause at one of the things you said there. You retired, and then you said, I don't like retirement sitting at home. So is that what I got to look forward to when I get ready to retire?
No, Alton, I have no doubt that you will stay active no matter where you are or when you retire. I imagine, for one, you are a wealth of resources, and you will be pulled back into some type of volunteer situation.
I'm sure. Well, Jen, we definitely appreciate you being there at Literacy Volunteers. And I know that some people may know Literacy Volunteers, some may not necessarily know. But just tell us a little bit about what Literacy Volunteers is.
Well, thank you. We are a nonprofit organization, and we, like I said, are a United Way partner, and we try to help adults in the past. We're leaning toward multi-age groups, but adults in the past enrich their lives by helping them improve their reading skills, their math skills, their computer skills. And if they are not from here and they speak a foreign language, we work with ESOL students too. Okay.
Wow. So just kind of a whole gamut there.
We have a lot going on for us.
Yeah, we do. Now, I heard you mention in that you said with adults. And I think Literacy Volunteers is kind of refocusing somewhat a little bit.
We are. Our chairman, who can be named or not.
Yeah, you can go ahead and name that chairperson.
Who is the Honorable Alton West.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you having us on, like I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alton and the board have decided that it would be advantageous for all of Troup County. And it's nice to blend the ages, because we feel like blended helps encourage all ages work toward a better them and enrich their lives in whatever skill they're feeling they're a little weak in.
That's right. And in talking about and blending of the ages, because we have found so many times, like some of the other organizations, the adult may need services, but then they may not have childcare.
Right.
So we're partnering with agencies that can provide that, or we provide that as well, correct?
We hope to blend in some of our newer programs we'll talk about a little bit later, I'm sure. Some work with children so that the adults can encourage their children and incorporate them into their learning experience. And also, yes, we've looked at several different options for helping childcare while the adults do some work.
Okay, very good. Jan, and I know a lot of times people may have heard of it, but they may not necessarily know where we're located. Can you tell us where?
We are so easy to find. If you've ever been to the picture show, the movie theater, down at the end of Main Street, we're across the street from there in the Bank of America building, not the bank itself, but the building. We're on the second floor, down the hall from United Way.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's 200 Main Street.
200 Main Street. Now, let me ask you, and we say volunteers, Literacy Volunteers, and there are a number of individuals from our community that come in and they do the math tutoring, the reading skills, things of that nature. If somebody came in and they maybe, like you said, the English as a second language or resume writing or things of that nature, we don't just mainly focus on those things. I think we go outside touch on all aspects of their lifespan.
We do, Alton. Thank you. We found out that a lot of times it is it's really hard to think that you have to take your medicine home and read it if you don't remember exactly what the doctor had said.
Mm-hmm.
So we assist in a lot of things. We assist in making appointments for foreign language students for our ESOL. We have tutored children of a lot of the students that we've had in the past with math in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
So, we go outside of our defined zone a lot of times to help people just live and enrich their lives.
Absolutely. And why is it so important, Jan, in your opinion, that we reach out to the community and make sure that it's a more literate community? Why is that important to you?
Well, not just a way for them to accomplish a lot of goals they'd like to have for themselves, or sometimes we get kind of in a slum and we like to reset our goals and look toward higher goals and enjoying our life and maybe buying a little extra or enjoying with our children a little extra, and it gives us an opportunity to do that. It's important, and I think that we have people that have been through the program that really have done well. They've gotten jobs after they've come to see us, and it helps life go on in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. And, I think it's a joy for me, and I know all of the board members will kind of mention the board here momentarily. It's a joy for me to see individuals that have come to us, and they may have been on a reading level skill, hypothetically third grade. Mm-hmm. And by the time they left, they were on reading level, grade level, all of the above. Right. And it's just a joy for me to see that individual to be able to do that. And we do that through volunteers. Talk a little bit about some of the volunteers that we have there at the office, if you don't mind.
We have great volunteers. Of course, you as our chairman. We have Nora Ayers, who has been the long-term treasurer, and she's our math person, does a lot of math work with people. We have Debbie Bailey, who does a lot of the reading. We always welcome volunteers.
Yes.
We as our numbers grow, of course, we're a little bit down because of COVID. And unfortunately, everybody can see the problems that has caused. But we are looking for new volunteers, and we take them. And Alton, as we get volunteers and we help people, it helps the economic development of Troup County in general and the city of LaGrange.
Absolutely. And we're talking about, we got some new programs that we're going to be unveiling too.
We do. We are just super excited.
Yeah.
We have several. My baby is the CART program. It's children and adults reading with technology. And the concept is that we help parents, grandparents, and child caregivers learn how to use Chromebooks.
Yeah. And
they use the Chromebooks and incorporate a child with them. And it's like reading to your child, only this program actually can go online, find reading programs, and it reads to them both. It highlights and reads the written word on the book. And the nicest thing about it is a lot of the books are totally free, and we are working with Libby, which is the online reading program through our local library.
Okay.
They will get a library card. The library card can be converted to a hands-on to the physical library, and they can take advantages of a lot of the services that the library offers. So we're really super excited about that one. We have another one called Math for the Real World.
Yes.
And that will reach out to 4th and 5th graders that might have missed maybe a building block somewhere along the way in their math, and they've become discouraged. And you know how it is. When you miss something along the way and it's a building block, it's really hard to catch up, and you get frustrated. And we found out that's the reason a lot of times, and there are other extenuating variables that can happen, like house problems and different things that come along. But we want to give those young people a leg up so that they can regroup and achieve their goals.
Absolutely. And so many times when we take on individuals, clients, and some of the things that you and I just automatically do, for them, it's a barrier. And one of the things that we found out over the course of time, that transportation sometimes is a barrier. Talk about how we have gone about and addressed that.
It is. We have received a grant in the past, and we've got some money left over, and we have an agreement with Catch a Cab, and we can furnish transportation if they want to come up to our office. And the office is really laid out nice. We could do small classes or we could do individual work. So if they feel like one day they have a couple of hours, they want to come up and work on a resume or reading skills or math skills, we can arrange for them to come on up and join us and take care of things like that.
That's right. And the two, again, we're very ideally located right in downtown.
We are.
Now, if there was someone was watching today, Jan, and they know someone that could benefit from our services, what would you tell that individual?
I would tell them to have them call us, and we'll be glad. We do an intake to kind of see where people are, so we don't shove them into something that they don't need. We try to do an assessment so that they can start where they need to start and work on either reading or math or computer skills. And Alton, not only do we have those other two programs, I am working with getting in touch with a lot of the different staffing agencies and the Department of Labor to let them know that we will help people do resumes and online applications and different things like that to get a job, because we want people working.
Yes,
it's good for us.
We do, and we want people to understand and to know that the environment there is a safe, it's a secure, and I know sometimes people may have a little bit of an embarrassment, and we're a judge-free zone. Oh,
we're definitely judge-free. In fact, even on our ESL students, all we really want is a contact number. We don't incorporate anything else besides just contact information.
Okay, all right. And Jan, you said that they could call you. Go ahead and give them the number to the office where someone can get in touch with, if you don't mind.
It's 706-883.
8327.
It's so close to my own phone number sometimes.
That's right.
Thank you. I get a little confused.
That's okay. Well, Jan, you know what? We definitely appreciate, because prior to COVID, we had numbers. Our numbers went down, and I just want to say thank you to what you have done to revive you and Nora. Definitely, we don't want to finish it before we recognize all the board members because of what they do, because they're volunteers as well. So if you don't mind, tell us the board members.
Okay. We have, like I said, yourself. We have Nora, who is our treasurer. We have Dr. Eric Marks and his wife Trina. Dr. Marks is a counselor in town, and Miss Trina works with enrichment services.
That's right.
We have a couple of retired ladies. We have Kathy Morris, who also works with the library, and we have Diana Cofield, who does all kind of worthy projects with her groups.
That's right.
And she does sit on our board and help us with things. And then last but not least, we have Debbie Bailey, who is one of our tutors.
That's
and
right.
she's been a teacher in the past too.
That's right. So. And the other male is Mike Meredith.
I forgot Mike.
That's
I'm sorry.
Okay. That's all right. Mike Meredith.
Thank you. Mike is retired and kind of helps us along the way.
Absolutely. And if there's anybody that would like to volunteer to be a board member or either a volunteer, again, they can contact Jan there at Literacy Volunteers.
That's true, and I will need people to help me with our new CART program that I'm so excited about.
Okay.
So I need people to help me monitor some of the programs.
Very good. Jan, again, I just want to say thank you for what you have done to turn the office around. Nora for staying there on board, and along with the others that stayed there, and we're back up and running, and we're looking very, very optimistic about the future of what Literacy Volunteer will do for this community and the lives of citizens here in our community. And again, I want to thank you for being our guest today. And I know that the second part of my show, I'm going to have a guest that come on that went through Literacy Volunteer to kind of give his little testimony.
He did. We're excited to see Bob and get him up here to talk a little bit about how we helped him.
Absolutely. Jan, thank you very much for being my guest today, okay?
Thank you so much, Alton. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more Secret Week coming up in just a moment.
I'm Kim Myers, the director of Get Troup Reading, and I'm so excited to introduce you to the very first story walk here along the thread at George F. Harris Fields. A story walk is signage that's placed along a walking trail, and each sign has a different page of a book. And so families, parents, child care providers, grandparents, friends can walk along the trail, ride their bike around the trail, and as they're exercising, they can read a book from beginning to end. Our story walk is located right here along the thread at the George F. Harris Baseball Complex, a great spot where families gather not only in the summer months, but all throughout the year to enjoy the playground, the pavilion, the pond, and this beautiful segment of the thread. The books that will be displayed along the story walk are going to be geared towards elementary students, preschool to 5th grade. However, they'll be enjoyed by the whole family because everyone loves a good story, and they'll be changed out about every 12 weeks. We were able to receive funding and grants from the West Point Fund, Troup County School System through the L4GA grant, LaGrange Junior Service League, and from the City of LaGrange. All of them are partners in making the Story Walk a reality. As families walk along the Story Walk, they're not only going to enjoy a story, but they're also going to get tips and ideas of how they can increase their child's reading level and how they can improve literacy through everyday activities that are easy to do with their children at home. Also, we would love for families to post pictures on social media to the Get Troup Reading Facebook page, as well as the Facebook page for the thread. We hope the success of this story walk will be the first of many that you'll see throughout Troup County. I want to invite each of you to come out to George F. Harris Fields, walk along the beautiful thread, enjoy a story with your family, and exercise both your body and your mind.
Welcome back, City Week, ladies and gentlemen. As I told you earlier, I was going to have on another guest that is going to talk to us about literacy volunteers of Troup County. We had on earlier the office manager, Jan Plagens. Now I am being joined by Robert Godfrey, who affectionately goes by Bob. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, Bob, and it is okay to call you Bob, because
Yes.
I do have that in quotes. Bob, before we get started talking about literacy volunteers and how it may have assisted you, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Well, I'm a cabinet maker, and I've been a small remodeling and reconstruction, restoration,
Wow.
and worked a lot of different kinds of jobs. But I realized that I needed to become computer literate,
Okay.
and I tried a couple of different avenues and was not successful in pursuing that. And I did not know that Literacy Volunteers of Troup County offered computer lessons.
Wow.
I'm literate and I can read and I can do some simple math and things.
Mm-hmm.
But I was at the Georgia Department of Labor and looking for a job, and it came across their screen that Literacy Volunteers offers classes to help people learn to write a resume.
Okay.
And so I called, and the manager at the time called me right back that afternoon, and we started setting up some classes, and it's been a tremendous help to me.
Very good. And you were wanting to become more computer literate, is what I understand, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. So you were able to come there to the office, and you kind of talk a little bit about that experience, if you don't mind.
I went and met the director of Troup Literacy, Renee Wolf, at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and she arranged for me to start coming and taking lessons. And I started learning a little bit about Word, a little bit about Excel, and I learned a little bit about typing. I'm not a very good typer.
You do the finger type, pet.
I know where everything is
You know where
on the
everything-
keyboard.
there you go.
keyboard, but,
All right.
You know, so I eventually get there. But,
Uh-huh.
but I did not know that Literacy Volunteers offered this range of classes and knowledge.
Uh-huh.
And through my experience, I was able to learn to write my own resume and obtained a job at that time.
Uh-huh.
But I was able to continue going to classes after I got my basics in. I bought a laptop computer, and Renee said, you could we're not real busy, you can keep coming up here if you would like, and I'll help you out. So I would go and take my laptop and hook it up and talk to her about what I was going to try to work on that day. And then when I would get stuck and need help, I would go get her. So that really boosted my computer literacy a lot. And it developed a lot of interest on my part in all different aspects of using the computer.
Very good. How did that build and help with your confidence, you think, Bob? being more literate there on the computer. Did that help with your confidence building, you think?
Oh, it's a tremendous feeling that when you start overcoming the obstacles that everyone has when they first start using a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you learn, the easier it becomes to learn new things, and it's very gratifying. It feels like you've won a small battle every time you accomplish a new set of tasks.
Very good. Let me ask you, Bob, because you heard about us going through the Georgia Department of Labor. If there was someone that was watching this interview now, and they may have had a little hesitancy about maybe reaching out to get that assistance that they might need, or if they may have a barrier, what would you say to that individual watching now today, knowing what you have experienced by coming through Literacy Volunteers? What would you say to him or her?
I would highly encourage anyone to reach out to Literacy Volunteers and get some help. All of the tutors and everyone that I've come in contact with is very helpful, and they won't look down their nose if you're struggling with at whatever level of competence you bring in. Everyone is so willing to help and so kind in the manner that they treat you. It's been a wonderful experience, and it's really nice to encourage other people, because later on I was able to go back to West Georgia Technical College, and I took some computer drafting courses and a math course, and I was able to pass those courses, and that confidence of using the computer carried right along to that. I was in my 60s when I went back to West Georgia Technical College.
Very good. And and what you mentioned in your age, Bob, and talking about the computer, it can be a very scary, I guess, a scary avenue, a scary road to travel. But you took on that challenge. You have overcome that challenge and gone on. And of course, I'm sure the computer drafting is assisting you in your work environment today, correct?
Computer drafting helps me tremendously in designing furniture and checking measurements and being more accurate with my math.
Uh-huh.
It's been a tremendous boon, and it helped me realize that I was pretty fair and had a pretty good talent for geometry.
Uh-huh.
I struggled with algebra in school, but I'm able to use my geometry and basic math
Mm-hmm.
in designing and building cabinets and furniture.
Very good, very good. Again, Bob, if you had somebody that wanted to encourage you, we just ask that you just encourage someone that may be hesitant. Once again, what would you say to him or her as we close up?
Please reach out and call. Please talk to the nice folks at Literacy Volunteers of Troup County. They're extremely helpful. If you put a little bit of effort in, you can help yourself and gain more skills that will help you with your job and with your work and managing your life. Everyone has a phone now that's a really nice computer,
Mm-hmm.
and the more that you learn about it, the better your life can be.
Absolutely. Well, Bob, I just want to thank you very much for coming on and having the confidence that you had in Literacy Volunteers to help you to overcome a barrier and to help you to achieve more in your personal life. So thank you for being my guest today to talk about Literacy Volunteers.
Thank you. I was very nice to be invited here, and I'm glad to speak up.
Well, very good. Thank you so much, Bob. All right.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week. My guests have been from Literacy Volunteers of Troup County. I had on the Office Manager, Program Director Jan Plagens, as she talked about the upcoming programs that we'll be offering through Literacy Volunteers and the importance of things that we can offer to citizens of our community. Also, ladies and gentlemen, not only did she talk about the things that we offer, but we had on a live testimony from one of these students that have come through Literacy Volunteer, and he talked about the confidence that it built in him in learning new computer skills. Ladies and gentlemen, those are just some few things that we offer at Literacy Volunteers of Troup County. By all means, if you need the services of us, come on out and we'll be happy to help you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed my interview today. And as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.